Hello, my friends. For today's reading, we have the Empress in reverse, the Fool in reverse, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. That top line is supposed to be who this reading is for. The second line is for you to know that it's your reading, to help you figure that out. So the Magician is an alchemist, so if you have an interest in alchemy, that may be helpful for you. So the Magician is trying to master himself, herself, and in doing so, become a channel for the universal energies to bring them into manifestation in the world. Typically, the Magician is pictured with one hand up, pointing up more or less, and the other hand pointing down. This is supposed to indicate as above, so below. So a system of correspondences. So creating your inner world and your outer world will, in some fashion, reflect each other, which is pretty much what science has proven to be true. Our subconscious has a great deal, or subconscious and unconscious has a great deal to do with how our life unfolds. And perhaps you are becoming more aware of your own unconscious or subconscious beliefs and how they are affecting your reality. The next card is the Ten of Wands. So you've been feeling overburdened, and one of the things you're becoming aware of is the fact that you just can't keep doing this. Things have to change. You've had all these fantasies about what you can do, and it's made it very difficult for you to make good choices. You've been preoccupied with all of the choices instead of identifying which ones are realistic and which ones are just illusions, or maybe just not right for right now. Maybe some of them were never right and never will be. But there's a certain lack of focus with the Seven of Cups in the upright here. It could be that there's a certain amount of scatteredness to your thinking. It's too many things to think about. You can't focus on any one of them like that, which kind of goes with this Ten of Wands card, especially if we're in the upright. Since it's in the reverse, perhaps you are learning to take a different approach to these Seven of Cups, these choices. All right. What else do we have for you today? What will help you deal with your current situation? So we have the Root of Stones. What else? All right, move this now. Keep that person covered up. The Root of Stones is the slowest moving knight in the deck, so perhaps you need to slow down. The next card is the Hermit. So slow down, look within, find your inner light. And, well, I'm not sure which of these goes next, but we have the Lovers, the Three of Cups, and the Six of Cups. Let me get these centered. Okay. So, it looks like your advice is to slow down, look within, make the choices. The Lovers although it can be a card about love, about connection, especially soul connections, it is also a card about making choices, especially tough ones. And it looks like you do need to make some tough choices. Three of Cups is about relaxing, enjoying yourself with friends, working with others, of course, but also communication. Perhaps your communication skills need work? Who knows? And then we have the Six of Cups. So there's an element of the past with the Six of Cups, either nostalgia, looking back at the way things used to be and wishing they could be that way again, or a soul connection, or possibly just giving to someone else. But in an emotional way, not necessarily a physical way. This is cups after all. You also have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is not really a doer, but they are also much more in touch with their emotions than the other knights, and much more likely to act on them. But they lack staying power. I'm sorry, did I say that was a knight? It's the Root of Stones, not... Wow, why did I think that was... Alright, Root of Stones, so that would be... Alright, now I'm getting this all confused. So this is a Page of Cups. Knight of Stones, Seed of Cups, so that's Page of Cups. So someone very sensitive, a dreamer, gifted, but undeveloped. Still with a long ways to go. Alright, Empress in reverse and the World in reverse. There is someone around you who is a bad influence. This is, they may be male or female, just because it has a feminine name doesn't mean that it's a feminine person. Okay, so the Empress in reverse is not a good influence. She's less outgoing, possibly this is a tough one. You have the Empress in reverse next to the World in reverse. So things are supposed to be happening for you, but right now it's all on hold. I think you're supposed to be working on your feminine aspects of your personality, and that's what's holding everything up. You have to become a fully developed person, and to do that you have to have both masculine and feminine qualities, and healed ones, healthy ones. So the feminine qualities that the Empress usually represents are creativity, receptivity, sensuality. Did I say receptivity already? Anyway. And of course she is very much in touch with her feelings. And abundance. The Empress is all about abundance, as well as being nurturing and caring, thoughtful. The ideal motherly figure. But how are those things represented in you, in your life? Do you value those aspects or qualities? And how do you express them? If you start expressing them, what will happen? How will your life change? How will you see yourself? Because it looks like the world, this new wonderful beginning, the world is a card of success. The end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. You have successfully completed something, and now you can move on to something else new and wonderful. But you have it in reverse, so you're not moving anywhere till you deal with this Empress situation. And most likely that is the Empress within you. Reciprocity. How do you give and take in the world? You can't just give and you can't just take. Well, some people do seem to get away with one or the other, but you really need to be balanced. At least that is what I'm seeing here. Perhaps that's the new chapter, is you living a balanced lifestyle. All right. It looks like you also, oops, that's a very naked person. All right, so for next steps, you need to allow change. You are probably a very change-resistant person. You came up as, Root of Stones. So, Knight of Stones, slow-moving, probably just do not want to change. Here it is, Two of Stones. Time for you to change. To accept change in your life, to be willing to change, and most of all, to make the fool's leap. To have faith and go ahead and do something different, something you've never considered, never thought about. Sorry, another naked person, hang on. It's a nice deck, but there are too many naked people. Okay, so Two of Wands. Make a decision. So the Two of Wands is my analysis paralysis card. So you've been allowing yourself to be stuck because you don't want to make a decision. You don't want to change. You don't want to make the leap. You don't want to deal with your internal feminine aspects of your personality. You probably don't want to deal with emotion at all. Even though you are a very sensitive person, or perhaps because you are a very sensitive person. Feelings may be, emotions may be very difficult for you to deal with because you feel them so strongly. And you already feel battered by life. We all reach adulthood in a battered state. Or almost everyone. A few people seem to lead charmed lives, but I don't know how they pull that off. They must have earned it in a previous life, huh? All right, Five of Cups, disappointment and loss. Hang on a sec, I've got another naked person and I'm running out of things to cover them up. All right, the Sun. Oh. Close enough, huh? All right. Yeah. You've you're feeling bruised and battered, maybe especially recently. There's been disappointment and loss and heartbreak. And I think you're wondering if life will ever be good again. The Sun card is the happiest card in the deck. I'm not sure. I mean, after all this difficulty, is it telling you that there's light at the end of the tunnel, or is this just what you're hoping for? Which, it's a good way to get there, is to at least hope for it. Believe in it. The High Priestess in reverse. I'm still getting you denying aspects of yourself. I mean, it's falling right on the Empress in reverse. That's 2 cards of the Divine Feminine. So, the Empress is, sorry, I'll turn these around the right way. Okay. The High Priestess is the Divine Feminine, in particular, the spiritual aspects of the Divine Feminine. The Empress is the physical aspects of the Divine Feminine. So you have both of them, and one landed on top of the other. So, but they're both in reverse. So in both your physical and spiritual life, you have ignored and are in desperate need of working with what are considered to be the feminine aspects. In reality, there's nothing masculine or feminine about them. It's just that culturally we have assigned those things to be a women's sort of area, and we have assigned other things to be the men's sort of area. In reality, neither one belongs to either gender, and we have to have both in ourselves and have them in balance to be healthy and fully realized humans. So, the feminine aspects of yourself are way, way, way out of whack. And you're not going to be able to have the success that you want until you do that work. Surprise! You got the Ace of Cups, which is my heart chakra card. Yes, this is all about your emotions, dealing with these. It's just the same message is coming out over and over again. I don't know what else to tell you. How about concrete steps, perhaps? Although we're talking about emotions, it's not. How about taking action in the physical world? Huh. Or maybe it is. The first thing to do is work on your scarcity mindset, your lack mentality. And the next thing to do is be brave. Not necessarily in that order. Dealing with this stuff isn't easy to do in and of itself. And then you will also have to deal with the opinions of others around you. As you heal and change, you're going to change. I mean, your life will change. People around you will notice that you've changed, and there will be comments and criticisms. And you have to be strong enough to keep going and keep becoming your real self, your full self, no matter what these others have to say. Anything? One last card. I think I was going to say 5 of cups. Or no, not 5 of cups, 4 of cups. But no, you got 8 of cups. Leave behind what doesn't serve you. Whether it's people, situations, jobs. There you have it. Be brave. Learn to let go of your lack mentality. I was going to say 4 of cups because the 4 of cups is about practicing gratitude, which would help with your scarcity mindset and lack mentality. But you also have to leave those behind, the lack mentality and scarcity mindset, but also the other people and things and situations in your life that no longer serve you. It's time to let go of them and just walk away. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you can do it. Many other people have done it, and it's the only way forward for you. I wish you all the best.